these will be the dominant chords with the raised fifth, lowered fifth, raised ninth, and lowered ninth on the 1, 4, 5, 6 string family. And we're doing these on D. We're going to access them in a couple of different ways, just as suggestions. When we did the regular raised 11th ones, we used A minor major 7, and we used F sharp minor flat 5, as well as ways to access those sounds. C major 7 with the sharp 5. So we move those up a tritone simply. So that will be one approach that we use. So instead of A minor major 7, and then C major 7 sharp 5 and flat 5 going to G, for example, we're going to do up a tritone. E flat, minor major 7, and of course now we get F sharp major 7 sharp 5, flat 5, and resolving to G. So that will create D7, flat 5, sharp 9, flat 9, all of those things. So here is the E flat major 7 sharp 5, the E flat minor major 7, E flat, B flat, D, and G flat. The top note can go to F. So that's perfectly acceptable sound. So also the D in that chord can go to a C. So it's a C minor 7 flat 5, which again is that sound as well. That substitutes for the D, resolving to a G. Also resolving to an E. So that chord can also resolve to an E major type sound. It can resolve to a B flat major. So it can resolve this way. Resolve to a B flat or a D flat as well. Okay, so F sharp major 7 sharp 5 we said works there, and we said works to E major and D flat, etc. Now here's F sharp major 7 sharp 5 here. So again, as a D7 substitute, F sharp D, F, and B flat. We can move the top to A flat and resolve to the G very nicely. Again, and we can resolve that to an E. That's fine as well. So the E major resolution is good. Also, within that type of a sound, we can use F sharp C, F, and B flat to A flat, which of course is going to give us the a C minor 7 flat 5 type sound that will resolve to G. So again, you can hear that it sounds like a D7 and resolves. Okay, so, and we can put a D in or make it go to C. D, the F sharp C, F, and A flat, and it sounds like an A flat 7 now. B flat and A flat, so we get F sharp C, E flat, and A flat, resolving to a G. That's okay, that's totally permissible. Also resolving to D flat, which is nice. Okay, so that works. Now, in the chords that go more this way, we have an E flat minor straight up major 7, and that resolves E flat, G flat, B flat, and D. Has that, it's like that cadence that Verdi used to use. Okay, now this can move to a C. So E flat, G flat, B flat, and C. And now we have the C minor 7 flat 5 sound. Move the bottom voice to F, and we have it. Resolving to G, or resolving to B flat, maybe. And in this case, the top voice, even though it's a leap of a fourth, D, A, B flat, and C, going to F, we can now voice exchange so that we have C on top and F on the bottom. F, A, B flat, and C. So again, we're accessing the C minor 7 flat 5 sound. C, G flat, B flat, and E flat. Top voice can move to F even. And that all resolves to G very nicely. B flat and D flat. So even that sound goes to a D flat nicely. And it also goes to an E. Very nice resolution there to the E major, so that's a good one. Voice exchange, the D comes down, D, G flat, B flat, and C, resolving to a G major. So that's good. Resolving to a B flat, resolving to the D flat, and resolving ultimately to an E. Okay, all coming from C minor 7 flat 5. We can do straight up and down here. Again, we're thinking about this as a D chord, a D7 altered. That's nice. C, F, G flat, A flat. And we can hear that. And then the F goes to E flat, and the ultimate resolution to the G. Okay. Straight C minor 7 flat 5 here, B flat, E flat, G flat, and C. Resolving to a G chord. Okay, so any of those work. Even a chord like this, which sounds like a flat 5 chord, it's like a D7 flat 5, but it can move C, F sharp, G sharp, and D. Get the E flat in the melody, the bass moves to B flat, so it starts to sound like an augmented sound, but then we move the top voice to C. This looks like a B flat, F, A flat, and C moves down to an A flat 11, A flat, F, G flat, and B flat, moving 2 voices and resolving it. So it kind of resolves like this. A flat, E flat, G flat, and B flat can move to a C, and it resolves to a G chord. Acts as a D. So it almost acts like a tritone relationship. A, D, F sharp, and A flat to the B flat. Voice exchange, A flat, D, F sharp, an A, which is a D over an A flat, and a resolution. Again, coming from the C minor 7 flat 5 sound. And again, we're back here, which is that sound. F sharp, C, F, and A flat. And resolving maybe to a D flat in that position. So that is how we derive, or at least one common way of deriving. The other way to get to the sharp 5, flat 5, sharp 9, flat 9 is to take diminished voicings, of course. Here's a typical one. C, F sharp, B, and E flat, going to F, and then you just simply move any note that's a B or an A 13th or a 5th, move that to the sharp 5. And that's another way of thinking about it or accessing it. We can hear that. G from there. Okay. It's the same thing with any diminished voicing. It doesn't really matter as long as you move any note. For instance, this one. This is a typical 13 flat 9, D, F sharp, B, and E flat, maybe going to an F. And of course you move that B to a B flat. And now it becomes a sharp 5, flat 9 chord. And it's an easy resolution. And this one will resolve actually really nicely to D flat. Again, we can resolve it to a G, like so. We resolve it to a D flat, like this. We can resolve to an E major as well. That's no problem. And then we can resolve. We did the G, and we need a B flat. sounds nice resolving that way as well. So those are the dominant sevens with the double alterations. And of course, speaking of a double alteration, this family, one example of getting a sharp 9 and a flat 9 in a chord: D, F sharp, E flat, and F, which is nice. Sometimes these chord families lend themselves to those sounds, and we'll see that in multiple examples as we go through. In terms of the whole tone scale, it's rather simple. We'll start with this flat 5, D, A flat, C, E. Move the middle voice to B flat. So we get the sharp 5 voicings that are included, like so. Okay. D, F sharp, A sharp, and C. The top voice can move to any note within the scale. Any of the voices can. We have an E that can move as well, so we have this. So this is just A flat, D, A flat, E, and F sharp. So that middle voice can move nicely. That works well. Also, any voice can exchange. So the top two exchange. E goes to D, D goes to E on the outer. D, A flat, C. E moves to E, A flat, C, D. And then the bottom voice can move as well, or the top. So we have all of these D7 whole tone sounds. Okay. Likewise, the chords can go in the opposite direction. So they can start to go this way. Here is a D, an F sharp, an A flat, and a B flat. Now the middle voice can now move by major thirds. That's nice. So that goes D, F sharp, A flat, and the A flat goes to C with the B on top. So that works well. Now, from here, voices can move. We can exchange the voice. C, F sharp, A flat, and D. And there's our major third voicing, moving again, B flat to D. So that's fine. That has a nice... So all these voicings can move. The different voices within the chord can move. Of course, the bottom one. It can resolve to another whole tone. Resolve to the A whole tone sound as well. So it doesn't matter, but here's the A, and then to the B flat. Okay, so typically any note within the scale is available, but those are just some of the more common moves on this kind of a chord family. The middle voices is of note. That works well. Okay. So those are the whole tone sounds based on 1, 4, 5, and 6 string family, as well as the dominant 7 with the sharp 5, flat 5, sharp 9, and flat 9.